Are you ready to know the 5 attraction switches that exist in every woman ubiquitously? The first we've talked about already, it's called pre-selection. We need to demonstrate that we are pre-selected by other women. We can do it through storytelling, we could do it through photo routine, we could do it live and in person with girls all around us. We can infer it by being unaffected by a particular woman's beauty and systematically demonstrating we're not affected by doing a calibrated takeaway where you say to the girl, all right, you're losing me, and roll off with your eyes. She's going to feel that. We demonstrated that, so we put that into virtually every set now. Make sense? So that she knows it's not her beauty that I'm after, and that will trigger the hardwired pre-selection switch. It's the #1 strongest one. You got value for other women, you got value for her. Boy band principle. There you are watching a VH1 and a music video comes up of a boy band and they're being chased by girls and kissed, and maybe you've never even heard of that fucking band before. Remember the Backstreet Boys' first music video? They weren't famous, nobody knew them. How are girls chasing you? Right? And it worked. So we need to have women in our lives. If you convey to others from this point forward that you don't have women in your lives, then you won't have women in your lives. There's a bit of a fake it till you make it. But over the next 3 days, you're going to have women in your lives. So we'll get you started. Pre-selection. Again, you can't be leaning in, trying to game them. It has to appear as if the girls are gaming you. If I'm going to locking in, let's say the girl's here, right? And I'm here. I will not be considered attractive to any other woman who sees me when they take a glimpse past, right? But if I'm here, and there's a girl here, it is as if I just grew tits. Does that make sense? Her attraction mechanism is not designed to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Her attraction mechanism is not designed to look at our replication value as much as our survival or social value, all right? Similarly, our attraction circuit looks at a woman's replication value more than her survival value. The reason why there is a discrepancy and a skewing, if you want to say 70%, 30%, or that sounds about right. 70% of a woman's value comes in her replication value for a man, legitimately, right? And for a woman, it's 70% is going to be her survival value. And it is all because of one device that is hooked up to her brain that she has hardwired into her chassis that we do not possess. A uterus. That's it. This uterus is going to change her behaviors. If we have 2 robots, and one has a replication a factory, right? And we can assist in, just by this robot, by its survival after going through a big course, is able to contribute to an adaptation of that, when a new robot is made, to give it information about the environment that it is about to be plopped into. That's evolution. It's pretty elegant and simple, and our attraction mechanism, as a part of our emotional circuitry, has been evolutionarily micro-calibrated behaviorally by millions and millions of generations of both success stories and of failure stories of your ancestors. I'm I'm going to go off on different threads. This is fun. Imagine you were in a tribe of 50 people, 25 female, 25 male. How many of those females in that tribe, where you will quite likely never leave, or if you do leave, you'll have to start a new one and you'll have to be really social so you can convince people to start a tribe. If you want to come with me, we're going to pick a plot in the desert and we're going to build some huts, right? If it's not enough people, it's kind of boring. That's why it's around 150 people, you know? You need to live just like an ant in an ant farm with other ants. You can't live by yourself, so if you've been feeling sad or been feeling a little crazy, you just haven't been getting out enough. Of those girls, 25 of them, how many of them are going to be sexual viable mates? 3 or 4, you know? Some of them are going to be ugly. Some of them will be taken. Some of them will be little girls, little kids. Some of them are going to be old ladies. Some of them are going to be pregnant. Some of them are going to be, I mean, protected. Not just taken, protected. So how many girls? There you are, you're in a tribe. It's like a small town, living in a small town where everybody knows everybody. And so the dynamics are very slow to change, you know, because Daddy's been the leader and has been that way for the last 15 years. I can't become the leader. I can't just leave. I'm trapped in my world. And all the girls are taken, right? You're going to have like 2 or 3, 4 girls that you have options with. Now, if you approach the wrong girl, a guy can come along and convince his friends to kill you. And that's why we have a fear of the approach. You approach the wrong girl, and she's a 10, and just so you know, there are men, I mean, I've played in LA, I've played in Vegas, I've played in Miami, New York. These are potentially dangerous places where when you approach a girl who's a 10, if you were to like really seriously piss her off, she would tell those big guys at that, you know, table that you grabbed her tit, and they will beat the shit out of you. They have power, right? So you're in this small town. You don't want to approach the wrong girl. You don't want to get beaten up, so we've evolutionarily hardwired into ourselves a fear of the approach for that reason. But let's say they're just all girls. Well, if you screw up, that girl is going to tell the other girls. So we fear rejection. Doesn't mean much if it's just a little set, big deal, there's more sets, but that's now, today. Our brains haven't evolved to the plethora of women. Dude, it's a cornucopia. If you guys go to Austin, there are women, hot women on the street. Imagine we live in paradise. There are women everywhere. All you have to do is snag them. They're looking for high-valued males. Become one. Demonstrate it. Get the fucking girl. They're here. You're going to enjoy this immensely. But you can't fuck up. If you fuck up, you go into the set and you ruin that set. Your emotions are designed to repress you and keep you from doing it because it's designed to prepare. Like your design is prepared for an ancient environment whereby if one girl in that tribe rejects you, then you don't have pre-selection. She tells all the others, and your genes will be let's try that again. And your genes will be unapologetically weeded out of existence, right? It's done. So of course we're going to fear the approach. It's normal. The best pickup artists in the world fear the approach. I fear the approach. First set, man, I'm like, ah. So we've come up with rules. The 3-second rule. It doesn't mean count to 3. 1, 2, 3. All it means is it takes approximately 3 seconds to go from where you are and when you decide, yeah, that's hot, to the point where you approach her, to you actually say hi. It takes 3 seconds to get up to her. You got 3 seconds to think to yourself, what's my opener? What am I going to say? As opposed to sitting there and trying to work it out. What am I going to say? What am I going to say? Nope, just start going. Because if you're thinking, what am I going to say? It's amateur hour. You know.